Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to be looking at this question about choosing the right vector databases. Essentially, we are going to be looking at features of two, you can say, most popular managed database solutions which are available out there. First one is Quadrant and second one is Pinecone. So I will try to compare these two database options on various points. Having personally built projects, both personal and for clients, and I'm talking about projects involving millions of vectors. So both of them I have personally used for a large scale projects. Now I want to share my opinion. I don't have a final conclusion opinion, just to give you a heads up, but I will share strengths and weaknesses of each one. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, let me briefly cover why vector databases is required. So AI search and chatbot need meaning-based search, okay, and meaning can be represented by a vector embedding. So for a text document, I can represent the text document via vector, and the same can be done for an image and even video and audio. And why do we need vector databases? We need vector databases because these vector data cannot be stored in a traditional sense, and hence specialized treatment is necessary for these kind of data points. So hence we need vector databases. And now the question is which one to choose. So currently we are looking at two different players, and the first player is Quadrant and the second player is Pinecone. Let's look at some of the features of Quadrant. So the first thing is that Quadrant is open source. What do we mean by that? I just mentioned in the beginning of the video that Quadrant, both of these options are managed one. Yes, Quadrant offers a Quadrant cloud which allow you to basically put all the burden on Quadrant cloud, and you can make sure that all the scaling and things like that happens. But by default, Quadrant code is an open source. So Quadrant database, just like PostgreSQL, it is an open source database. Now second point is it is flexible. And if I have to contrast this with Pinecone I would not say as flexible, because Pinecone enforces you to go with their own implementation. So they won't let you adjust their own code, right? So that is why Pinecone is not very flexible. But then some people might prefer Pinecone because of their ability to do this thing called zero operation. So you don't have to manage anything. Now Quadrant can be run anywhere, which essentially means that you can run it on using Docker. You can run it on your own EC2 instance. So essentially, since it is an open source package, you can just download it and run it anywhere that you want. On the other hand, the Pinecone is a cloud first vector databases, which means that you don't get its package as an open source code, but rather you get this managed cloud based environment with which you can upload your vector data and make similarity searches. It is serverless. Now serverless is a very loaded term, and the way we can describe serverless is very simple. You don't have to manage your servers. You basically put this burden on Pinecone, and Pinecone is going to manage that for you. Okay, so let's now move on and talk about both of them in terms of ease of use and hosting. Now if I talk about Quadrant, as we mentioned in the previous slide, Quadrant can be self-hosted on Docker, Kubernetes, self-host or cloud, whatever you prefer. So essentially Quadrant is giving you a multitude of options of hosting. If you want to take that initiative and self-manage everything by you, and there can be some use cases where you might want to manage all the things on your own, whereas Pinecone is a software as a service feature, and here you pay as you go and no setup is required. You don't need to set up anything. both on your computer or on your cloud. You just need to create an account on Pinecone, create an index, and start uploading your vectors. And to start uploading your vectors, you need some sort of SDK, programming SDK, which you can do using Python, JavaScript, and so many different SDKs are provided by Pinecone. So this was about ease of use and hosting. Now let's move on and talk about the data model, and we will be covering this data model one by one. Now this is a very important part because we need to understand how both of these options allow you to store your data. Okay, so because you might be thinking that since both of them are vector databases, so they must be storing vector data in a similar fashion, but it's not the case, and some things Quadrant I feel is doing much better in this regard. So let's talk about this. The key entity in Quadrant is, now I'm talking about something here. If you prefer Quadrant Cloud, there is this concept of cluster, which I have not written because by default this cluster you don't have to think about. Why? Because cluster becomes only relevant when you go for Quadrant Cloud. But we start with collection. What is collection? Now collection holds collection of points. Now what is a point? Point we define here. So point is made up of three things. First is vector data. Second is metadata payload. You can think of metadata payload as a JSON containing metadata and information describing that particular point, and then ID. Now one example that I can give you here is, you can have a product information. The vector data might hold product description in the form of vector embeddings. Metadata might give you the name of the product and other such informations, and ID is ID, obviously unique identifier. Now one nice and I feel really interesting feature that data model of Quadrant provides is the notion of named vectors. Now named vectors allow you to store multiple vector data, not just one vector embedding but multiple vector embedding for the same entity. So I just took the example of product, right? Now product might have product description and also product image. So product image can have its own embedding. So in that case, we can create one point, and within the vector data we can store two named vectors, one for description and one for image, and both of them can be used to make queries, and that is really powerful feature of Quadrant. Okay, so named vector allow us to hold vectors for a point in different types. So for example, a single point about a product can have an embedding for the product description and another embedding vector for product image, and so on. In fact, you can have more than two named vectors as well, given only in one point. Okay, now let's move on and let's talk about the data model of Pinecone. Now Pinecone is not giving you much, you can say, underlying implementation details, but what I could understand from using Pinecone via its web interface and via programming SDKs is that it provides you this notion of index, and now index is a very broader term. So you log into the Pinecone, you create an index, and essentially you are creating a server with multiple pods. Okay, multiple pods, and pods are essentially a hardware unit. Okay, now this container of index which will be holding your data. Now one unique thing about Pinecone is the notion of namespace. Now this is a very unique thing with Pinecone, and you can think of Pinecone's namespace as its strength, and you can compare this with very loosely with collections, because namespace allow within the Pinecone index, so one index can have multiple namespaces. Just like this, one cluster can have multiple collections for different for catering to different user base. Similarly, namespace will allow you to support multi-tenancy, which is essentially a concept whereby you cater to different set of users. For example, if you have a product data, you can have two different sets of audiences, and you can keep one namespace, keep vectors for one kind of product in one namespace, and another kind of product in another namespace. Now each namespace has multiple records, and this record has ID, vector, and payload. Payload is similar to metadata, ID is similar to what we discussed already for Quadrant, Now vector is plain vector. Plain vector means we don't have the notion of named vector here in Pinecone. So we have no support for named vectors within the same record, and this is something which you can say, although it's not that big of a issue, because with Pinecone using metadata filtering we can achieve the same thing within Pinecone as well. But the thing is, this is supported out of the box in Quadrant. Okay, now let's talk about the filtering and searching capability in both. Now first of all, both of these options support hybrid search, and hybrid search, as you might already be understanding, that this involves combining semantic and keyword search. The idea is that you run a semantic search and you get documents, you run a keyword search, you get documents, you take both of these and re-rank those. And here we also use re-ranker models, but I'll not go into that for now. Now some features specific to Quadrant are geo-based filtering. Now geo means by default natively it supports geographic latitude longitude based searches and filters. And also we have got this concept of nested filters. If you guys have used MongoDB or maybe any NoSQL platform, this kind of functionality is available in those. I feel my Pinecone is also supporting that, but I haven't explored that. So we have got metadata filters and lexical indexes. Okay, so this was about filtering and search. Now let's talk about scaling and performance. How do we scale? And by that what we mean is, how do we add more data and also serve to multiple customers simultaneously. Now for Quadrant we have manual scaling unless you take Quadrant Cloud, and we have this concept of sharding and replicas, and these are pretty common concepts within the parlance of database. So I don't think these two terms should need any explaining, because these are very generic terms. Sharding essentially means separating your data across different computer, okay, and creating these replicas and all. Now we need to do this manually unless we are on Quadrant Cloud paid plan. So if you go for Quadrant Cloud paid plan, you are pretty much same as with Pinecone. Now Pinecone does auto scaling, so you don't have to do anything in Pinecone. You have got server and replicas and no need to worry about anything. Everything is taken care of by Pinecone. Okay, so now let's talk about pricing. Now naturally, since Quadrant is open source, its pricing depends on the kind of hardware you put this Quadrant on. Here I would like to take one example of, let's say you buy EC2 instance on rent and then you install Quadrant client on that server. So the cost of your stuff would be the equivalent cost of EC2 instance, nothing else. You are not paying for Quadrant itself, because Quadrant is open source. Now if you are self-managing, cost depends on infra and servers, right? And you can obviously go for paid Quadrant Cloud. Now if we talk about Pinecone, now Pinecone's pricing is pretty straightforward. So how can we use Pinecone? First of all, we create the index and we put our data into it, right? Now if you are putting your data into it, you must be paying for storage, right? So first price is storage based price. So GB storage data in index. So that price you will be paying. And then once index is created, you will be making queries. That is, you will be reading from the index and you will also be writing vectors into the index. So these two usage based pricing is available for Pinecone. And this is not that big of a issue to understand. So now let's briefly cover the strengths of both Quadrant and Pinecone. So Quadrant gives you control. Okay, one strength which I feel is really nice for Quadrant is the support of multiple vector within one point, and the geo natively it supports the geo based filtering, which these two features I feel are really handy, and they come in handy when you have to do some cool stuff with your vector data. For Pinecone, if you are a startup, if you are somebody who is starting out and don't want to set up any engineering team to figure out these kind of stuff, then go for Pinecone. So it has no operations, auto scaling, and usage based billing. So this is its strength. And Quadrant is something useful for somebody who knows the ins and outs of this stuff, unless they are also going for Quadrant Cloud. Okay, now lastly I would like to briefly talk about use case mapping, and I have already talked about it. So if you are a startup and if you want to quickly spin up a minimum viable product MVP, then go for Pinecone. Okay, if you are an enterprise or government, then you should go for Quadrant. Why? Because it gives you that manual control to configure and do things on your own. Okay, now finally, what is my final recommendation? What I have tried to do in this video is I've tried to give you a overall sense of features. This is not an sponsored video, right? Nobody is paying me to do this video, so you have to choose based upon your operation models, not the hype. Okay, obviously Pinecone is much popular, I feel, because of the ease of use that it offers and nowadays companies want to spin off things really quickly, and they don't want to wait and set up engineering team or hire people. They want to quickly do stuff, and Pinecone is really good in that. Whereas Quadrant is something which gives you that control. It's an open source model. You can look at the code and you can tweak that code to your liking and create things on your own. Okay, so I feel that would be it. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also comment your opinion or feedback, anything that you got, or maybe if you found any gap in my understanding, please let me know. I can update that with another video. Let me know if you want me to cover any specific point that you could not follow through. I can cover that for you as well. Thank you so much again. Have a nice day.